Him no make you happy. No. Him no make you feel like I do. They both turn in my way.
Hey Damien, hey Jim. Yeah, there was lots of action. Glad I took my profits on gold where I did. I'm not too sure what's caused a bit of this spike on gold, to be fair. That was a perfectly held trade through the night, as you can see. Hey Masia. And there was the NAS trade, so you can perfectly see. Again, reading structure. Now you can see this is the power of marking up structure correctly. Now you can see on the hourly we had this push up, and then all of this price action was internal. So on the 15-minute you can see perfectly this is a trend. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, boom 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 boom, and then we entered a pullback here. So here was our key area of reversal, like I said. But also, what did we get on NAS? We broke that 4-hour swing to the downside, which if we look here, we had the high, we had a retracement, we then had this high, and then all of this was internal until we broke the low here. So here when we shifted bullish, we entered the bullish move on that 4-hour pullback, but we then came down and we took out this low, so it was just a continuation of the move to the downside, taking out this 4-hour swing structure. Then we came in and tapped into this next area of demand. So at that point then we're sitting here looking at this and saying, right, okay, here's a swing to the downside, this is a retracement. So if price is bearish, what's the natural course of price? Create a lower low, lower high. Price is eventually going to do this. So seeing that, marking up our key levels within here, you could perfectly see there is the area of supply. This is the key area of pullback that we're waiting for price to come back into. Now again, I didn't get in on the first tap here. So my entry was still probably slightly aggressive because the break has happened now here. So a retracement into this area to continue shorting is definitely still on. But you can see we tapped into this fib area, but we never mitigated the supply. So as we came back into this area, here is where we mitigated it. You can see on an intraday time frame, what did I see? We had this push up, we had this pullback, and then we failed to break above these highs, and we've now mitigated this zone. So again, based on anticipating price, at this point all I was looking to do was trade this pullback off of this move from this higher time frame supply. So you can perfectly see price came in, mitigated this zone, but now we broke it. So we've broke this structure, this pullback structure to the upside. You know, we had this push up, we had a retracement, we had this push up, we had a retracement, we had this push up. So all that bullish price action, key area of reversal, change of character with strong momentum. So now you can see on a 15-minute, we created this consolidation and this expansion, a good retracement for a continuation down. Now, because price has reacted to a high time frame demand, and we still do have some imbalance and inefficiency up here, if price does head back, you know, the re-entry would be for price to head back and mitigate this area of demand. We have this imbalance here, and we have demand sitting down here, so that's a good area for price to continue shifting bearish after a retracement. So again, great trade there. Caught London session momentum. GJ is another good one to look at. So if you look at GJ, now GJ is heading towards this low here. Now again, you can see from a 4-hour time frame, this is our swing move up, and this is the current retracement path. Now you can see marking the fib from the high to the low of this entire swing structure. We have this area of imbalance and these areas of demand that kind of sit within this region. Perfect demand here and perfect demand here. Now on the hourly chart, you can see what price is doing. We had this push down, then we had this retracement. This is the high that caused this break. So when price broke above this area of supply, all price did was, price came up to this extreme zone. So the high and the low of this hourly swing structure, there was the high, there was the low. So price has still maintained its bearish stance. All we did was came all the way to this extreme supply, mitigated this, and then started to sell off. So now with GJ, we are highly likely heading towards these key areas that align with our fib and the 4-hour pullback off of this daily supply zone. So a good move here now, we could probably expect is, like, look where price sells into this key area. So a good move would now be to see some kind, if we get a retracement to short. Like, I couldn't get involved in the market at all here, no way, because you don't know, are you going to have a pullback here, are you going to have a pullback here, are you going to have a pullback here, where is the pullback going to come from? But we need a pullback in order to take continuations in this. So there's some good downside for GJ. I'm in this trade currently. Oh, TP hit, guys. Fantastic. 130 pips on Euro CAD. So I'll break this trade down for you as well. So now, what did I see on Euro CAD? Number one, if I go into the daily, first of all, you can see we had this big impulsive move down. We're in a corrective phase on the high time frame. You can see we had this retracement, we had a push up, we had a slight break below, and then price started to continue to the upside here. But you can see we have this area of supply sitting here. This last up candle before this aggressive sell-off, which was like 500 pips. So we had a breaker structure to the upside here on the daily. So what does that tell us? That mitigating high time frame supply, yeah, I'll look at USD CAD. High time frame supply is going to be the catalyst for price to enter a retracement after this breaker structure to the upside. So if we then start to break that down on lower time frame, so we have this 4-hour structure to the upside. Why? Because it's our daily swing leg. So now that has a 4-hour trend. Now, where's the last 4-hour push up? It's this. So to be fair, I could have taken it further, but I'm pretty happy with that. So realistically, if the price has shifted, where can we expect price to come down to? Down to 1.45. Because in this uptrend, in order for price to shift bearish on a daily, we need to see the 4-hour shift And right now the 4 hour is still bullish, but it's in a pullback. Now you can see on the hourly chart, you know, what did I see to get into this trade? Now you can see here, if I mark this, this is like 56 pips. So in this uptrend, we had this push up, retracement, we had this push up, and then here we broke. Change of character. Now, you know, we could have caught it sooner up here. If you look at the 15-minute, see price created this high, we had a retracement, we then created this high, so we've now mitigated this daily supply. We then come down here, take out the low, retracement. We could have caught it here, but I looked at it over here. So you can perfectly see we had this nice retracement here of 82 pips after we had a breaker structure. I could clearly see this area of demand. We then had a further breaker structure down over here. And then as price came into here, you can see like as soon as there was consolidation, prices fell into break above. I entered here with my stops slightly above the 70 to 79% zone. And you can see price came quite close to tapping me out. But again, the dominant trend continued. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, boom. Now, if price retraces from here, there's definitely another opportunity, looking at this on a higher time frame, for a further continuation down, because you could see this on a 4 hour. Perfect level of unmitigated demand that sits within this area. Now if price just continues selling off into here, there's no trade. But if price gives a retracement, then we've got a continuation on this 4 hour. So phenomenal trade. Look at that, perfectly wicks off and starts rejecting off of the area that I marked up. Remember guys, if you've got any questions or any charts you want me to have a look at, just drop them in the channel, in the chat. So Anko, you said USD CAD. Let's have a look at USD CAD. So I would be very careful in like trying to buy USD CAD yet. The reason purely is because you could see this area of supply price. When we had this retracement here, price never had a deep enough retracement to mitigate this to continue down. So even though we've seen a breaker structure to the upside here, this, or a change of character so to speak, this could just be a liquidity grab. We have liquidity resting here, and we have this unmitigated area of supply with this area of imbalance resting above here, and we haven't yet mitigated our fib confluence and this area of demand that rests within here. You know, you can see if you're looking at the 4 hour demand, that rests all the way down here. So I do still believe there is downside in this market before we start pushing higher. So I would be expecting price to do something like this, induce early buyers into here. Yeah, but you got to be mindful of the change of character and take into account that this area of supply has not been mitigated. We have liquidity resting here and imbalance here, so this just could be early inducement for people to just wait for a retracement to buy out. But I personally think it's going to mitigate this, tap into our key area before we see a correction to the upside. So higher time frame, you at least want to see like 40 pips plus, but it's not just about a pip amount. You want to visually see structure and see what you're looking at. You know, like right now, like I said, even though here we could see a change of character, me personally, the way I would see the markets, it hasn't yet mitigated this area, key area for me, and price hasn't yet, and we have this area of imbalance and this supply sitting here. So this supply could be a good catalyst for price to do this, tap into this before continuing higher. So you want to take an overall picture versus just getting caught up in the intricacies of price here and now, and just like any breaker structure. Like, look at everything from a much wider perspective. Nice echo. Look at gold. Wow. Damn, I'm glad I closed my trade. Now again, this just goes back to... Morning, Adams. This just goes back to, again, visually, you could see this is predominantly price action in one direction. Retracement. Price doing that. So here is the demand. Look how price just wicks that demand. So to be fair, I could have actually taken my trade down to there, which would have been a 1 to 8.8 hour trade rather than a 1 to 7. But hey, it's all good. Is there any other pairs you guys want me to have a look at?
I know that you've been here before. It's different this time. You have me on your side. Follow me, I go show you the way. Follow me, I go show you the way.
Alright, so even if we just go through some pairs here and look at what we're doing. GU, we had a big drop on pound. I think pound's got some news today. I think it's like the budget. Yeah, annual budget at 12:30. So that'll be interesting to see what. I think the original drop we saw on pound was because they've got a policy here in the UK at the moment where they're helping with the big increase in energy price. So they increased the cap. It was supposed to end in April, but they increased it to June. So obviously that's more borrowing. So I think the markets have seen that as a bit of a negative, and we've seen the pound kind of drop this morning. So pound. Tough place. We're pretty much in this zone. We really need to break below this and then a retracement and kind of short. So it'll be interesting to see what the news. We've got some red folder news during for USD today as well. You got core PPI, you got retail sales, Empire State. So it's quite a bit of red news for USD. So I would just wait and see what that brings. But pound, I would be looking at potential retracement trades. We have shifted bullish. We are heading to the upside, but we've had this big push to the upside, so we are due a retracement for the next continuation. And again, looking at that on a 4 hour, you can see we've swept this liquidity. Where's our high? There's our high to low. So we have this area of supply that's resting above here at like 1.24. So we could perfectly see price doing that, but before that we could see this retracement for the next push up. Because the thing you got to see is now in price, when price had this big push up, you can see we had this retracement, but this push up never broke above this high on the left, so this was all consolidation, and then we kind of dropped. So the high in this uptrend is still this high, and the low is still this low, so it's still bullish. You know, I would just see if price comes here and we start getting rejection, it would still be classified as an aggressive entry here because we haven't broken structure, but we have created this strong area of supply. Anchor, yeah, I just got to set up the screen and stuff, because right now I'm just doing like window capture, so if I bring anything else up it won't show it. But yeah, for just remind me in the mods chat and I'll set that up on OBS, and absolutely if people want to share their charts and analysis we can go over that.
Yeah, me no understand why you not here with me. Let me take it over for you, girl. You've been out searching the wrong place. On your mind, only place that I want.
So that's what I would be looking at on GU, Damien.
That you've been here before. It's different this time. You have me on your side. Follow me. Follow me.
Nothing on.
Go show you the way. Follow me. Follow me. I go show you the way. C'est la vie. No movie. I go show you the way. Follow me. Follow me.
Now you can see AU's like in a. I think I nice it's all marked out the other day. Look at UJ. Yeah, like UJ, I'm personally waiting for UJ. Now you can look at the 4-hour chart. So we haven't, you know, we came into this area of supply. Now this is our 4-hour push up, this entire move. There's definitely more downside in this. I'm waiting for price to head back up. If it does, if we can get retracement back up into this area of supply for a continuation down, that'd be great. So you can see it's like it's very easy to get caught up with price, but I would be expecting price to continue bullish in the interim. Like, what's price reacting to right now? This area of demand. So we could see this hold and price continue doing this. You know, we got this area of imbalance and this key area of pullback, and then something like this. Charting on your phone, kudos to you. I couldn't do that. I just have the charts obviously synced from my computer to my phone, so it's all kind of there. Yeah, it definitely is a pain. Right, so we were looking at AUD USD. So again, AUD USD, you can see I wouldn't be prematurely looking to short this just yet, because again, in this uptrend of the pullback, we had this high retracement price. It created a lower high, but we haven't broken the low here, and momentum's quite weak, and we haven't yet fully come up into this area of supply. Nice markup our fib from the high to the low. So yeah, I still personally think we probably still got some upside before we do this. This is a good move to wait for. CAD CHF, so you can see we had this huge drop after we had this consolidation, and prices at all-time lows on CAD CHF. Like, look at the monthly chart. We are at all-time lows. Weekly again, we broke the previous week. Daily again, we've had this big push, but look what we have, this lovely area, indecision candle in this area of supply with this imbalance resting above here, which we have marked out here. So in this downtrend, boom, change of character. And now we've left this nice area of demand on a 30-minute chart. And we have this perfect area of liquidity built up here as well. So retracement back into this for a continuation back into this area of supply as a pullback. Stops kind of below this area and target this will be a good trade. Yeah, it must do with that. So Euro looks like we could be getting a pullback on the daily from this push up as we broke the previous daily swing structure here. And you can see now perfectly we have this indecision candle and this area of demand that aligns with our fib, and we have this key area of imbalance here as well. Nice area on the 4 hour. Now all I would want to see is price has already respected this demand here when we had this wick into it. Looks like we're breaking through this, so a break below this, retracement into here, trade this back down would be a great trade. That's like 400 plus pips to the downside. EuroCAD's just boom. This insane. Look at this 4 hour candle. 130 pip 4 hour candle. See now, look at the difference between Euro CHF and CAD CHF. CAD CHF had a proper change of character, so we can comfortably trade this. Where Euro CHF, all this was internal pullback into this supply, and then we start to sell off. So there's no bullish shift in this market. Euro GBP is heading nicely to the downside. We retested at 70 to 79, so now Euro GBP, a break out of this and a pullback into unmitigated supply as a continuation here would be great. Now something like this, yeah, something like this And this is a perfect example of not getting induced into early supply. You can clearly see imbalance and inefficiency sitting above here. We have this perfect area of supply. Also has a trade potential, 250 pips.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh, yeah. Amaru, yeah. Turn up.
Oh, look at Euro JPY.
Real thing, she's no average girl.
Wow.
Fine, oh, she might.
315 pips.
Money just fall on you. Another thing I won't do. Ooh, yeah. I just wanna call on you. Let me do it all for
So now, if we get a retracement, guys, back into here, before we head into this area, we have demand here, but we have demand here as well.
Hope you don't mind if I give you a tour of my mansion. Yeah, all of this for you.
There's a great trading opportunity. Now overall, I do still think there's potentially downside, but not quite yet. I think there's probably more upside before downside in this market. But this would be a great trade. And what are we trading here? Just trading the pullback off of this move up. Now this is again a perfect example of getting induced early. We have supply here, but we also have supply that's unmitigated resting above here.
Turn up for the night. Real thing, she's no average girl. Too fine, oh, she might give up.
Nice one, Jim.
You got too much going on in that mind, let me help you. Yeah. Let me give you the moments in your life to step to fly away together. Can't help it with your body.
So yeah, there's more, and that's the thing. You don't need to be like FOMO. Oh, if you missed this and you didn't catch this. If you have a wider understanding of price and you understand what the overall market is doing, there's multiple opportunities, guys. It's just a matter of understanding where price is heading and why it's heading there. Interesting. Euro NZD is in a key area. Strong selling momentum here. I would need to hold this area for any kind of trades. Let's see what happens with this. Wow, look at Euro USD. Was there any Euro news today? Like, what the hell? Industrial production is up by 0% year and 2.3. Okay, Germany. We see 2020 German GDP at okay, so what time did this come out? 2 hours ago. So 2 hours ago, what were we on, 11? 10 o'clock. So yeah, we had news come out that Germany plays a big part in the overall Euro picture, if any of you guys didn't know. So when there's news for Germany, that has a significant impact on the markets for Euro. So there was red folder news that came out that German GDP is at minus 0.1% and growth of 1.7% in 2024. But the bigger picture is German inflation rate will fall to 6.2% in 2023 and 2.2% in 2024. So that just gives an indication that if inflation is falling and it's going to continue to fall, rate hikes will slow down. And that's a bearish catalyst for fiat currencies. So make sense of seeing this drop. But again, remember guys, like the drop can just be a catalyst for a pullback, you know. What did I exactly say? We had this area of liquidity it's taken, we have this imbalance field, so this is now a key area of reversal. Now, I'm not by any means saying just sit there buying into this. You know, you want to see some structure form. Like this, it's so hard to buy into this. And plus you got USD news and stuff, but if you want to see some kind of structure form and a shift before looking to buy this. I would not be buying anything aggressive like this, but this is a perfect storm, you know, created as a pullback. Yeah, CPI numbers were slightly good, which just gave the objective that, because after the Silicon Valley Bank stuff happened, the expectation was that there would be no rate hike in March. That's why dollar dumped over the last couple of days. But with core inflation still coming out higher than expected at 0.5% versus 0.4%, that gave some confidence to the markets that we'll probably still see a 0.25% increase. And that's why the markets kind of rallied on the back of that, which you can see here. Now, I'm not saying by any means that this is going to be long-lived. You know, while we are approaching supply, and do bear in mind that demand did fail on DXY here. It talks of 50 basis points, a little too much. So I think the 50 basis points talk was perfectly fine if the Silicon Valley Bank's stuff didn't happen, because all the numbers were coming in as expected, strong for the dollar. In order for them to increase rates by 50 basis points, because they've changed their stance from a 5/5.5% terminal rate to 6%. So if they've increased their projection overall to 6% over a short period of time, that means you're obviously going to have to rate hike more on your FOMC meetings. But I think with the fact of the Silicon Valley Bank stuff, the expectation was that there wasn't going to be a rate hike. So the markets took that obviously very inversely. But I think with CPI coming in slightly higher than expected, or core CPI, that just gives the market some reassurance that we should probably still see a 25 basis point rate hike. So it's a mixed bag. Yes, it's bullish because the expectation went from 50 to 0 and now it's back at 25, but 25 is still lower than 50. So is this push up just a reaction off of that 25 basis point rate hike, and then we sell off from this area of supply? You know, and this is just a typical example of support, resistance, support, and prices bounced off of that. But we could quite easily see this. Because what have we had? We had this push up, retracement, push up, retracement, push up, retracement, push up, change of character. So what's saying we're not going to get this?
Turn up for the night.
No worries at all.
She's no average girl, too fine, oh she might. Yeah, I just wanna call on you. Call money just fall on you.
Wow, look at that sell off in GJ.
Ooh yeah, yeah. I just wanna call on you. Let me do it all for you. Can't nobody fall on you. Ooh yeah, yeah. She the girl in my visions. Now that I found you, I'm fiending for all your attention. Yeah, hope you don't mind if I give you a tour of my mansion. Yeah, all of this for
Alright guys, I'm gonna shoot off.
nothing I won't do.
Short and sweet, just under an hour. Remember, there's lots of red folder news today, so trade safe, stick to your rules, and yeah, I'll catch up with you guys soon. Take care.